to be clear for everybody, now we are looking at footage of the 2024 Bloober Team remake of Silent Hill 2 and kind of comparing the same cutscene, but in its amazing new aesthetic and vibe. And well, the vibe's very much the same, but it's just, this is such a great example of what you guys are doing with the game. So talk us through what we're looking at here from visual, performance perspective, cinematic, whatever you think is interesting to talk about.
Yeah. So definitely, you know, I mean, current technology gives us certain possibilities, for example, to like, you know, rely more on like nuance in the performance, like small expressions, very sort of subtle, like gestures and stuff. And that's definitely something we've made use of. And this very first moment between even like James and Laura, when you can see her like physically tense up when she hears her name and you know, whatnot. And but then again, you know, we still, the main sort of objective was to still capture those original kind of dynamics and emotions.
Yeah, I really loved those small touches, like the facial expression is one thing, but the second thing, I remember that we have like this moment when I think Luke Roberts like almost hit the, you know, the setup on the motion capture scene, and then we saw that like, hey, it would be actually very nice if you can actually stumble on it, because it will create like this kind of better pacing and flow for the you know.
It makes total sense for the character, because he's even himself like taken aback by his outburst.
Yeah. Oh, and it works so well here. And I also wanted to mention, you know, we already, from watching the 2001 original, know that Laura's not totally to be trusted here. Her facial expressions and what she's doing with her eyes when she's sort of saying, hey, there's something in this room, you should check it out. It's just such a striking change from the original Wall. Like, just such a great, you know, way to convey her character and a kid sort of, you know, maybe inventing something.
Yeah. And I've actually, like, I've heard comments, well, James gets fooled pretty easily, you could say, in this scene, and I did hear, like, you know, there were questions like, should we maybe make it a little bit more believable? But having given it some thought, I really thought that no, that's actually precisely like, that's perfect for James's state of mind at this point in the story. Like, he's so desperate,
and he gets called Fart Face. I love that you guys kept Fart Face, by the way.
Fart Face. Actually, also, I was asked during writing, like, so is the Fart Face line staying in? I'm like, I'm tripling down on it, actually. And,
yeah, she does.
But it makes sense to me, because it's like a kid would be so proud of, you know, a name like that she wouldn't just drop it the one time.
That's true. Okay, so we're about to switch back to the 2001 original here, and yeah, I wanted to note too that the introduction of the boss felt quite faithful to the original, but I think we're going to see an interesting contrast here with gameplay. So this is yours truly, trying my best here. Wanted to note for people watching, you know, moving and shooting at this time in a survival horror game, still pretty cool innovation. What do you guys think of when you see this you know, this original boss battle against, you know, two flesh lips?
Oh, it's you know, it brings like very good memories. Of course.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and you know, like the atmosphere, this dark room, and the tone of the scene is something that, you know, we obviously knew we need to perceive that, like in the new version, but at the same time we couldn't just stay in that tight room anymore.
But also just like the creature design, I mean, for its time, it was just groundbreaking. Like, it just didn't see, like, you know, monsters in survival horror games that really look like that.
I remember thinking, like, what am I looking at when I first, you know, confronted these things? At least, you know, the Red Pyramid thing or Pyramid Head looked like a humanoid. This was just completely, like, almost imperceivable. And then, of course, here I've switched over to the shotgun for some more firepower, skipping melee for this fight. But, you know, you think it's, what I'd love to is, like, you think you're almost done here, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, you're pointing out, like, very important things, right? Like, about the tone, about, Yonji mentioned about the design. And what's nice here, like you said, it's like we are thinking that, yeah, that's it, right? Like, we won. And what now? And then, you know, it's it's pretty surprising. At least it was for me. And the reference to, I hope it was to this movie, obviously to Jacob's Ladder sequence. Just after the boss fight.
Yeah.
That for me at least was very interesting when I was playing it for the first time.
Well, I mean, well,
There I got them sort of in a good position where I don't think they could get past the incapacitated flesh lips, but
good.
and then now we're looking at you hear the sirens, which gives me goosebumps still every single time, and this is sort of how the boss fight ends, which doesn't quite feel like a victory, which is very in keeping with Silent Hill 2.
I think very few things in Silent Hill 2 feel particularly triumphant.
Yeah. And I'm so excited. So this is sort of the last moment we'll be seeing of the 2001 original in this episode. And then, you guys, I'm super excited for us to be showing off your new take on the flesh lip boss battle here. So we're switching back here. And I wanted to note, I never noticed in the original that they swing down and are holding onto the ceiling with their hand, but you guys have taken that to another level. Talk about what's changed here. Obviously, a lot has.
Oh, a lot has, and a lot needed to be changed, obviously, because like one thing was the first-person camera, the second thing was the scale of the room that we needed to change, and we also knew that we want to expand on the idea, right? So keeping the original design of the monster was like super crucial, right? We wanted to go as close as possible, but at the same time, we were just looking at this monster and we were thinking about like, okay, what can we do more, right? And if we have like those two spaces, the ceiling and the space when James is, we were thinking that okay, let's just move it dynamic, right? Let's just go up and down. Let's just create like this tension moment like during the fight, so you would not expect what is happening here. And what I personally really like with our version is that we split it into phases, like very obvious phases, and you are not expecting what will happen during this first phase in the future. Like you see that you are breaking this cage, you are kind of a little bit opening like the original design, and you already have like small parts of his arms trying to hit you, but I don't think like anyone would expect what will happen next, right? And it's also like it was very important for us to not rely only on rage weapons. We wanted to, if we have like this mechanic of melee.
Oh my gosh!
This is this moment.
We're looking at this, and what you're saying, about being able to use melee weapons more effectively in here, whereas you saw the original was more about using ranged. Man, guys, talk about what you did here with this boss. Like it's completely different.
Yeah, it is, and it was obviously something that we've been talking a lot. If we want to go that route to kind of change the design into some kind of a spider, obviously.
Yes.
But I think it is nice because we are keeping this idea throughout the entire game. I don't want to spoil anything more, but it's basically something that we wanted to introduce to it. Obviously, talking to original creators, etc. And I think it's pretty nice, and it can surprise even the Love.
It looks so cool. The way even before the ceiling is wrecked, and you see the ceiling tiles rippling as it's running through, and you're breaking apart the cage, which you think would be a good thing, but it turns it into this even more limber foe. And then here we go. James is succeeded for now. Just what a great expression of a very cool original, boss concept, and then sort of brought to a new level. That's so cool, guys.
If you expected to see two flesh lips, like here you go.
There it is. You're not safe from the grab attack. That's going to bring us to the end here. There's so much more we could say, but Mateusz and Andre, I just want to say thank you for joining us for this look at Silent Hill 2, the remake and the original. The remake is coming out October 8th, 2024 on PS5. Not long to wait. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. I'm so excited about this game.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
James.